So what I like to do is a case study. It's like a short story and helping people solve problems. It's just entertaining to just read and help them. So let's get started. So in here we have number 1. Joe was a 22-year-old man that is super smart but makes super silly mistakes. He believed that he can use Java to make a cookie machine, okay? So he told his wife, I'm going to give you unlimited cookies. So in order for you to eat some cookies, you will have to help me. His wife thought he was 2 years old, trying some bizarre situation, but she still wanted the cookies. So she decided to help him. So in 5 minutes, Joe came up with this code and was stuck on why this code wouldn't work. Would you help him so he can get his cookies? So let's analyze this code. It's saying public set of void main, right? This is your class header, right? If you can remember. And then int cookies equals chocolate chip, okay? And then we have string flavor is 56. And we have system.out.println, you have blank cookies, and the flavor is blank flavor. Okay, so we have some new things we haven't covered yet, which is this green thing, and I'll talk about this before we talk about any errors. So we have system.out.println. This seems good, and then we have this. Oops, we have this. You have, and then a plus, and then a plus. And then a plus, and you have like a bunch of like no quotations and yes quotation and yes and no and yes, right? And so what do we do? Like, I'm so confused, right? So what happens is the output is you have, right, cookies. You don't print cookies because remember string concatenation, you print out the value, the string or the integer of this, right? It's a value. And then and the flavor is, which is your double quotations, right? And so when you do and the flavor is, this is direct because there's double quotations, right? And then plus flavor. Flavor is not in quotations, right? So what happens is you have to look at this 56 and plug it in, right? And so there's a error here, and we have to fix it, okay? So if we were to plug this into our compiler, our online compiler, right? If we go here. All right, so I exited the screen, and then now let's go to our Java compiler. Let's put this aside right here. Oh, okay. And then let's just plug it in, right? So if we have int cookies equals chocolate chip, and then we had string flavor equals 56, and then we had system.out.println, you have plus cookies plus and the flavor is plus flavor. So if we were to plug this in and if we were to run it, you would see there's an error, right? Incompatible types right here. This is what it says. And the reason why there's an incompatible type is an integer right here and a chocolate chip. They don't match, right? Because an integer must be a number, right? And this is a string. And on the other hand, string flavor equals 56, and they don't match, okay? So I want to give you a little bit of time, and you can go and try to fix this problem, okay? So I hope you fixed it. And the really easy problem is just to swap the chocolate chip with 56. Right, so there's 56 cookies and the flavor is chocolate chip, which is a string, and therefore when you run it, you should be here. You have 56 and the flavor is chocolate chip. Notice that there aren't spaces between is chocolate and 56 and that's why you need to add an and or a space between these, because when you add them, there's no space in between these two strings, right? There it is. You have 56, and the flavor is chocolate chip. Congratulations, we just solved the first problem in our case study. We are back in this screen and let's continue. Good job. You have successfully helped Joe with his cookie machine. He gets greedy because he's a true cookie monster and wants to eat more cookies. He tries to put more lines of code and starts getting multiple errors when he prints multiple lines of code. Can you help him fix it in the next slide? So let's look at these extra lines, okay? We have system.out.println extra 2 cookies, system.in.print extra 5 cookies, system.println extra 2 cookies, system.out.println extra 10 cookies. So each of these lines have 1 error, all 4 of these. And can you help find us the error to help Joe? Well, pause the video and come back when you're finished. So I hope you finished, and let's just look at them one by one. So let's start with number 1, system.out.println. So the beginning statement is good, there's nothing wrong. But when we see in these parentheses, where are the parentheses? You're saying you want extra 2 cookies. The variable name is not going to be extra 2 cookies. One side note is that variable names can only be 1 word or separated by an underline or whatever it is called. It's this symbol. It cannot be separated by spaces. So extra 2 cookies would not be a variable anyways. It would be illegal, right? So we would want to put quotations up here to make this correct. Okay. So the second one, system.in.print. Like right here, you can see a problem. Int is not a thing. You can only go out. That's the only option we learned, out. So that's the error in line 2, okay? And then in line 3, let's look at the beginning again, system.println. There's an error here. You don't have the dot out. It's like similar, like system.out. You need that, okay? And then the last one, it's a little more tricky, a little hard to find. We have system.out.println, right? This is perfect. We have extra 10 cookies, it's perfect. But this is a colon. It's not a semicolon. Remember, we need to end with semicolon. So this has to be a semicolon, right? So these are how we correct these 4 lines for Joe. And congratulations, you guys have helped Joe and his cookies. I hope you are willing to help him with other food products as well, even though he's very gullible. And that's just it. Use your imagination and see if Joe gets his cookies through Java, or he's just not that smart and his wife is very disappointed in him. But thank you for joining me in this case study.